Good evening, Bulavinaka and Namaste. I'm Vijay Narayan. You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. Our first show for this year, 2026, is focused on inspiration, ensuring we give people a second chance at life despite the struggles or mistakes they may have made, and how important it is to ensure that that restart gives people a life that is prosperous and important for their future. We chose to bring on the show, our first show for this year, Aisea Toribau, and we're so grateful that he's accepted to come on the show. He has just graduated, a postgraduate in diploma in entrepreneurship and management, and just about to pursue his master's in business management and entrepreneurship. It hasn't been a smooth ride for Aisea. He will talk to us tonight about that, and it takes real courage, Aisea, to come on a show like this to talk about it. Thank you very much.
Naka Vijay.
Now, Aisea, you were son of a well-known teacher and now a principal, and of course it's always a lot of pressure when you're a son of a education expert, and also the fact that he has been transferred to different schools. You've had maybe the goodness of life in going to different schools as well. If we can start with that, how has it been your journey in terms of your early school life?
Naka Vijay. My journey ever since I was from a younghood. I attended class 1 in 1, 2, 3 in Lomeri, primary school, 4, 5 in Delenamasi, 6 in Veoto, 7, 8 in Delankakai primary school. And then also my secondary school. I had 2 secondary school in RKS and also Dudley High School. Basically, a son of a teacher. Dad has moved a lot of times in a lot of different schools, and it has helped me adapt to different kind of environments, from rural to town schools, to city schools, to boarding schools. It has trained me, and I've actually adapted in the environment that I lived in. Also, I was raised well. You will know if, like for a teacher's son or his children, we go through a lot of pressure from parents. There's nothing else in their mind but education. They will push you all the time for education. Vijay, I come from, I'm the eldest of 6. We were taught good behaviors, manners. We were well taught. We go to church. We had everything. Even when my dad struggles with my family, he doesn't show it. All he does is just he tells us that everything's okay. Up until the time I finished school studying, I went straight to USP. Didn't finish my studying there. I also, at the same time, I was working at a telecommunication company for 3 years. and then I worked at a bank where everything changed.
Now, in terms of you in your early part of your life and finishing off high school, having to adapt from one school to the next, then going to university, then working in your first job, then getting a job at the bank. What was your ambition at the time? What were your dreams?
Ever since I was small, I've always wanted to become a lawyer. Nothing else, but I always wanted to become a lawyer. My dad siblings they are very well off in terms of the position they have, and I've always wanted to become the first lawyer in my family. My grandfather was a doctor. One of my grandfather was a doctor. My dad was a school teacher. We had police officers. We had CEOs. We had mechanical engineering, but we didn't have lawyers in our family. So I've always been wanting to become a lawyer. Ever since I started working, I saw how employees were mistreated, and how the company's policies sometimes lack to acknowledge we the frontliners of our issues that we bring up. That inspired me, Vijay, to study HR. I remember the time I was asking one of my co-workers if, what position, what can I study? Who looks after these particular issues? Who do we raise it to? And she mentioned about this is the HR department. So if you have issues and stuff like those, you'll have to raise it to them. Then I asked my fellow colleague if that's something that is done in school. So yeah, that's what it inspired me to do. And yes, I've completed my HR, IR and management in 2021, and also pursued my postgraduate now. Just finished graduating and currently pursuing with my master's.
It's an interesting journey, but let's talk about while you were at the bank, the mistake that you made that sort of altered your pathway along the way.
What I did was a mistake. I committed a crime in my early 20s when I was at the bank. I was charged with obtaining financial advantage by deception. I take full responsibility. This was all because of immaturity, lack of self-awareness, and peer pressure. So these things that I've committed, but really, like you mentioned, altered the way my moving forward, the direction of my life. It's really paved my pathway whereby when I got charged, I made a decision to my life that that my story was not going to end there.
When as we shared earlier, when it was found that you had obtained money by deception while being a bank teller, can you recount what happened immediately at home?
When I was caught, the day I was caught, we received a phone call from my dad. I remember we were cleaning up in church. My dad was sitting in this lolly area. I was cutting the grass. And it was on a Saturday. At around about 12 o'clock, my dad received a phone call from my uncle, advising him that there's been a report of a crime that I have done. Vijay, this was the most lowest point of my life. The regrets, the loss of trust, everything was just running around my head. This was Saturday night. So eventually my dad asked me. I couldn't say no. All I said was, yes, I did it. He looked at me and I saw how frustrated he was. And also my mom. And from my siblings, especially when I'm the eldest. The first night was really hard for me. I did attempted to commit suicide. I was lucky to have very supporting parents. My mom and my dad. I'm sorry. I had friends that we enjoyed together, turned away from me. The very people that I had forgotten when I thought I was rich stood by me. I remember, and then on Monday, the very next Monday, we walked into Tutong for an interview. Before we went inside the interview room, all my dad told me was, "Nagutangani, you committed the crime. Do not throw anyone under the bus. You will take the full responsibility and you will be accountable alone with what has happened." I said, "Yes, Dad. Yetamanko." Vijay, after the whole questioning and the interview thing that happened, I could see shame from my dad. Embarrassment. So we were parked up at Reserve Bank,
This is at the police
the
station.
police station in Tatongo. So we had to cross over and then we had to walk up to Reserve Bank. My dad was taking the lead. I told myself that was the end of it because I saw my dad's face. It turned. My mom is always quiet. PJ, what I did was right in the middle of, in between Reserve Bank and Tatongo, I laid down. I laid down because I told myself that was the end of it. My mom shouted to my dad. My dad ran, took me up and hugged me. He hugged me tight and told me, no matter what circumstances you're gonna be in, or whatever crime you do, you will still be my son. That moment in time, I felt that I still had support. Like there was no one else to turn to. But my mom and dad was always there. So it was really hard for me. We came home, we stared at each other. We had our prayers. Then it was time for us to share the story to my family. Like I mentioned before, my uncles and my aunties, they hold good titles, good posts in their various institutions or workplaces. I'm so thankful to God that I was being raised in a family who was well educated. They're very appreciative of anything and their understanding. The day my dad went and presented a Sebu and advised them about what I've done, I also saw disappointment from my family. But then they came to me, they hugged me all. Gave me a lot of inspirational words. And it also gave me comfort at the point of time that I was going through it. So I mentioned I lost trust. I wanted to just regain everything and mend our relationship together as it was before. So yes, Vijay, that was what I went through. At the time before I got charged and sentenced. These are the things I really faced.
Aisea, prison is not for everybody, and definitely your first experience would have been something that would have shocked you. So apart from now that you had the support structure, but still knowing that you have to face the crime that you have committed, what happened after that?
I remember the day I was facing in court. I was in court. The first judgment I had was 10 years. And then I was shocked at that point of time. Quite a shock that the judge, the judge that was handling my case, advised the prosecutors that they will need to go back and relook at the sentencing.
The charge.
The charge. And then I was being advised that in order for them to minimize my charges, the charge that will be charged with, the sentencing year, was for me to do something good. So what I did was I represented Fiji. I applied. I started going through workshops and supporting doing the community works that happens for youths. And I ended up representing Fiji to Malaysia. It was during the court case. I remember my passport was already being seized. Boy, it takes a lot of faith. I'd always been challenging myself. I told myself, I can't stop here. I need to keep pushing. So even my lawyers that was representing me told me that it was a no-no. They will not release your passport.
And you were going to represent Fiji in a conference?
Yes.
What was the conference about?
Sustainable Development Goals, back in Malaysia. There was 4 Fijians. I was one of them. So yes, Vijay, I come from a very a Christian family. We always do our church service at family devotion at 7 p.m. and that has never missed out. My mom and my dad was the only one that had faith in me. Even my lawyers told me that the court will never release my passport because of my offense. The charge I was in. But then they told me, if you want to, you can challenge it in court, which gave me a little faith that I still have 0.5 out of 100% chances, but it's still a chance. I took it. My mom and my dad told me, go on fasting. I went for fasting, 40 days, 40 nights. The 40th day, I stood in court. I remember this time. I always set my alarm at 12 p.m. Then my fasting breaks. Only then I can eat. My court case was being called at 9 a.m. I came. They told me that the judge will be late. This corner of the court, I was sitting there, facing to the wall. There's only one sentence that I was telling myself. I was thanking God that I have received it. Nothing else. That was the words of my prayers. Thank God. Thank you, Lord, that I have received my passport. Thank you, Lord, that I have received my passport. My name was called at 11:45 sharp. I stood at the pit. They called my name. The judge looked at me, looked down, and then he said, "You want your passport?" He was reading everything. Prosecutor was against it. He kept on reading. This day, 12 sharp, my alarm came on inside court. Straight that time he said, yes, I will release your passport. After saying yes to him, I knelt down. I prayed inside court. I thanked the Lord. And then he questioned me as to why my phone was on. I shared my story with him, that I told him that I was on 40 days, 40 nights fasting. And that it was the 40th day. Vijay, I'll just take you back a little bit. I remember the day I started fasting, I was looking for sponsorship for my travel expenses. I went to Ministry of Youth and Sport, to the different ministries. They did accepted it on the first day. In the middle of, I think the 20th day of my fasting, the 21st, I received an email that it was being declined. Like the sponsorship. They pay for all my travel expenses. It kind of demotivated me, but it was a testing ground for me. I took everything in life as a challenge. And I always tell myself that I'm a strong person, that I can overcome anything. Sorry, if I may, there's a Bible verse that was always within me, was the 1 Corinthians, that the Lord did not only give you an issue or problem for you to go through. He's already armed you. So that's what kept me like so bold. So on the 40th day, when my alarm came on in court, after explaining to our judge, came out, my lawyer was shocked. I haven't received, I didn't, my dad came and dropped me in court. He gave me $2 for my bus fare to go back. I went to receive my, so after everything, I went to talk to my lawyer. My lawyer was shocked of the outcome. And then I told my lawyer that no matter any single opportunity they have, any chance, you take it. There's a rubber tree outside the courthouse in the magistrate court. When I was standing there, I wanted to call my mom and my dad to tell them that my passport has been released. Vijay, this is the 40th day. When I opened my phone to call my mom and my dad, I saw emails. Saw email from Ministry of Youth and Sports, and also Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So, the one in Aisea, what's that ministry?
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, that one. That the thing that they've declined before, they've approved it. That rubber tree, I knelt on the ground crying. Thanking the Lord for everything that has happened to me. It was a testimony about the little opportunities that we have in life. I grab hold of it. 0.5 chance of a yes is still an opportunity. The email stated that, congratulations, Aisea, please come and pick up your ticket at this particular airline. What do you call this? Yeah, where they sell the ticket. And we'll be depositing this amount of money in your bank account. I had $2 in my pocket. I called my mom and dad. I called my dad first. I told him, before I even tell him anything, all he said was, if you did not receive your passport, that's fine. We'll still love you. That's who you are. I said, no. I got the passport. All I could hear was joy, and he shouted. And I could just hear him telling everybody, my son got it. Then I told him, Dad, I have another news for you, but you will have to come to town. Right opposite McDonald's, inside that arcade, I stood and waited for them. The money was already in my bank account. I went to take my tickets. I gave them my passport first. And then they saw me. I bought food at that small tea restaurant in the arcade. I gave them a brown envelope. Then they saw the ticket. My mom burst out crying. So, yes, Vijay. Everyone was happy. We couldn't take it.
You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We'll be back after this break. In a world where opinions are loud and facts can fade, there's one voice in Fiji that stays true to the truth. For 40 years, our news team has brought factual and reliable information on our 5 radio stations: FM 96, Legend FM, Naftarang, VT FM, Radio Sargam, and for over 2 decades, Fiji Village has been where credibility lives, connecting Fijians to the stories that matter most. With over 3 million monthly page views and a growing digital reach across Fiji and beyond, Fiji Village delivers news as it happens, when it happens. The news, sports, in-depth talk shows, explainers, special events, entertainment, business sections, video features from our 5 radio stations and live radio all come together on this live and engaging platform. Through our flagship show Straight Talk, we bring the nation's most important voices, the people of the country and the leaders to the forefront, creating space for dialogue, accountability and change. From breaking stories to community campaigns, Fiji Village has become part of the fabric of everyday Fiji life. For businesses and brands, partnering with Fiji Village means more than just visibility. It's credibility. Fiji Village, Fiji's most trusted digital news source. Real people, real stories. Fiji Village, your trusted news provider. Welcome back. You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. Our guest tonight is Aisea Toribau, and Aisea is just sharing with us in relation to his journey when he was charged with obtaining money by financial advantage, and then his battle in trying to continue to do something positive, going for that conference in Malaysia, but the charge still there and the case still underway in court when he returned. Aisea, I believe that you took that step and heard your father's advice of taking responsibility and ensuring that you are held accountable for your wrong actions, as you said, your immature actions, and eventually you pleaded guilty?
Yes, I did. I did pleaded guilty to all counts, to the count that I was being charged with. Yes, and then I went to prison in 2019, straight after I came back from Malaysia. While in prison, the first day was very hard. I remember that I was being sentenced at 4 p.m. Sorry, 3 p.m. Yeah. And then we were being locked up in Samambula. Because when we were being taken to Corvo, they were already closed, so they were not accepting any more inmates. So we were being taken back to Samambula, the police station. We were being locked up there. And then the first morning that that night, it was the first time for me to be locked up. It was very hard. And my mom and my dad was there from night till the morning in Samambula, the small cell, before we were being taken in the morning to Corvo. We were already been sentenced, but the three of us was locked up in the cell. The three other that we were being charged. Yes, I was being taken to Corvo. The first day was very hard for me. Everything seems new, the lifestyle. I tried so hard to tell myself that the same type of adaptability that I went through changing school, but I couldn't. Luckily, I had friends, inmates that came and inspired me, to motivate me to not really think about what has happened, to stay strong. Which gave me a little comfort. That was okay. I remember on Saturday, because I was being taken to Corvo on Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. On Saturday, it was my first visit. That was the most unforgettable moment in my life. And we were being given 30 minutes only.
Who came to visit you?
My mom and my dad. My mom and my dad came and visited me. Still remember the number of apples and orange they brought. They brought 3 apples and 2 oranges. 30 minutes. It was more crying, less talking. Seeing their son in the orange uniform. They tried to stay strong for me, but they couldn't. They just stayed down. Something that my dad told me that really touched me was that every time I see your clothes at home, open your wardrobe, we're crying. The good food that mom used to cook, no more. So we were both trying to cheer up each other
In that 30 minutes.
in 30 minutes.
How was it like when they turned to leave after that 30 minutes?
I went back inside the room, the dorm that I was in. Oh, I stared at the wall for up until dinner. Almost 3 hours. I was seeing my mom and my dad going back home. Like my house was just there, like right in front of me. That's how hard I was staring at the wall and imagining. I could just see them like crying, taking my clothes and crying. My dad painted a picture in my head that really hit me. But before they left, I told them, Mom, Tana, I'm okay. You don't have to be worried about me. At least I think it gave them a little comfort and okay that my son is okay.
But they knew you would be in there for 2 years.
2 years, Vijay. I was thinking of, while staring at the wall, how my family is like and how they're going to go back home and cry more. But I was just praying to God that they could be given comfort. Because I know that this sentence has burdened them more. I'm so thankful that my dad has a very supporting family, brothers and sisters, and also my mom that came around to them to cheer them up.
Aisea, by the time you had pleaded guilty, by the time you had gone to prison, it seems like you were remorseful for your actions and you had accepted. You were ready and you will be serving your time for the wrong that you had done. At what point in time did you see what you had done was wrong, and did you go back to that action and think, why did you do it in the first place?
The point of time I regretted, I was so remorseful of what I did, was the day I got transferred in Nasino corrections. The Turangan Carnival is always the late Turangan Carnival is always advising me that it's not the end of the world. What matters the most is what you're going to become. This man really did talk me out of the way to that very lowest point of time. I told myself, it challenged me, what he told me. What it hit me with, and then it turned me around inside out. Then I had to tell myself that I need to make a decision now, because I can't change my past. What I can change is what I'm going to become. Vijay, when I'm at the inside prison, I still have my file at home. I wrote down everything that I wanted to become, what I will do when I go out from here. Even up to a proposal about Yellow Ribbon. I'm so lucky that we're so lucky that in prison now they have a lot of support system, even up to the psychologist. Every day I go to her. She talks me a lot of paths, and I'm so thankful with that. That journey, my life, and jotting down all the points. Majority of the things that I wrote down is now a success.
My question, Aisea, on when you talked about and when you had gotten the money through illegal means, you forgot about some of those people who were closest to you, who stood by you after the fact. But some who were enjoying with you were nowhere to be seen. What's the learning from that?
The learning outcome I could get from there is to always choose your friends wisely. I myself knew that all this thing happened because I wasn't listening to my parents. I thought I was working, I was something. My dad was talking to me. I thought I worked at a bank. I had money. But no. Remember that your parents, no matter what happens, please listen to them. Because at the end of the day, they will always be by your side. Your friends that you enjoy your money with, your friends that you choose because of your party life and everything, and just make sure that they are your real ones and they will be there beside you all the time. It has also taught me that the importance of decision making and trust. Yes, Vijay, those are some lessons that I've actually gained out of what I've committed. That integrity is important. Honesty is important.
And for those who are watching out there tonight, there'll be a lot of young people watching, there'll be a lot of parents watching. What's your message to the parents out there if they have some of their children who may have gotten lost along the way like you did?
My message to parents: spend anytime you have quality time with your children, because it is the most important thing. Guard your children well. Try and learn their behaviors. And always listen to their problems. Only then that they will open up to you. Stop with your friends, focus with your children. Anak.
You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. We'll be back after this break. In a world where opinions are loud and facts can fade, there's one voice in Fiji that stays true to the truth. For 40 years, our news team has brought factual and reliable information on our 5 radio stations: FM 96, Legend FM, Naftarang, VT FM, Radio Sargam, and for over 2 decades, Fiji Village has been where credibility lives, connecting Fijians to the stories that matter most. With over 3 million monthly page views and a growing digital reach across Fiji and beyond, Fiji Village delivers news as it happens, when it happens. The news, sports, in-depth talk shows, explainers, special events, entertainment, business sections, video features from our 5 radio stations and live radio all come together on this live and engaging platform. Through our flagship show Straight Talk, we bring the nation's most important voices, the people of the country and the leaders to the forefront, creating space for dialogue, accountability and change. From breaking stories to community campaigns, Fiji Village has become part of the fabric of everyday Fiji life. For businesses and brands, partnering with Fiji Village means more than just visibility. It's credibility. Fiji Village, Fiji's most trusted digital news source. Real people, real stories. Fiji Village, your trusted news provider. Welcome back. You're watching Fiji Village Straight Talk. I'm Vijay Narayan. Our guest tonight, Aisea Toribau. Now, Aisea, just in relation to resilience, finishing 2 years in prison, learning, writing in your file almost every day on what you have to do, and you said you've ticked most of them off. One of your first things that you did was coming back to university. Mm-hmm. And of course, let's talk about resilience, your personal resilience compared to when you committed those illegal actions.
Thank you, Vijay. Mental resilience. There was one thing that was a challenge. When I was working at the bank, one of the reasons why I committed what I have done was because I have access to people accounts and they have what I don't have, and I want to have what they have. Which gave me an intention that I have access to everything. With the pressure of peer and immaturity, should I say. These were some of the driving factors of why I committed this. My resilience about the resilience about this, what I've done, walking in publicly was shameful, but like I said, everything, I put everything as a challenge. Like I had to go through it, I had to overcome it with a supportive and personal talks from my mom and my dad, which gave me comfort, bold and I could walk with them together in public. For education, even though I came back studying, I was worried about how people will look at me.
This is when you went into completing your degree.
Correct.
In human resource management and industrial relations management.
Yes, correct. I was one of the well-known students here before I went in. Because a lot of friends, they rely on me when they are dropping down with their schoolwork. I always encourage them. I teach them if they don't know, if they don't understand the concept of HR, of the terms that was being taught in school. They rely to me. A majority of my friends rely on me. I was always supportive to them. So yes, that mentality of coming back to school, I was trying to figure out how people will look at me. But I'm so thankful to FNU, like the support system that they have, the system education that they have. I remember coming back, sharing my story with our lecturers. Because a lot of my lecturers know me very well, personally. I did attended counseling a lot when I feel down. But then, just a couple of weeks after, everything went back to normal.
How did it feel like walking into FNU campus, going back to the lecture room?
The first day I came, I wore hats. The first week, I remember, first week, I came with hoodies. I was so shameful about myself. But there was a lot of closing doors for me. But I told myself I had to start somewhere. And education was the only way out. That's the reason why I pursued with my education. I needed to start somewhere.
You completed your degree, you graduated in 2022. You did not stop there. You wanted to continue with your postgraduate diploma in entrepreneurship and business management. What was the driving force behind that you need to continue to move ahead?
Vijay, my story is not about success. My success is about my transformation. What inspired me the most was obviously my dad. My dad has nothing else in his mind and is always telling us that education is important. And he will support us no matter what, but education comes first in the family. That inspired me. And also, I want to be a living testimony of the life I've been through. Of FNU giving second chances to people like us. There's so much stigmatization all around us everywhere. I just want to be a living testimony of, from the lowest point of my life and to where I am now. Yes, and to inspire others with my education story and the incarceration I went through, and with what I have planned that is in front of me for the future.
Aisea, you talked about the thoughts of suicide and the act of suicide. Fiji has a very high rate of men committing suicides and men bottling up their emotions, going through a lot. What do you have to say about that?
Before I came out, the day I was being told that I was leaving prison, the late Garnivalu mentioned something to me, and I think everybody needs to hear this. He mentioned to me that your past is just a chapter of your life. It's not always too late to start again. Then he told me that you cannot change the past now, but what's important is what you want to become. And you will have to start again. Pick up at anywhere that you can pick up. Look for at least a small opening door that's shining that you can pick up from. But at least start somewhere.
Never give up.
And never give up.
How important is getting that second chance? First of all, from your dad and mom.
Second chance is just something that everybody needs. I am so lucky that I have a very supporting parents. But make sure that how important second chances is especially for employments, employers, or education, that when you give second chances to ex-convicts, or because not everybody that has committed a crime or has done something wrong is a bad person. There are a lot of people that genuinely want to change, that genuinely wants to contribute to the community, to the nation. And if we give them second chances, we're not helping them only. We're helping them rebuild and gaining trust in the right way from whichever, like from their parents, from the community that they've lost already. And you will be also contributing to the nation. Maybe or maybe not. This is the reason why ex-convicts re-offend, is because we are not accepting them wholeheartedly. The stigma is still there. We need education. We need people to be educated, community to be educated, with the importance of second chances. Yes, Vijay.
Just from the society, my final question in terms of society, you've said Yellow Ribbon campaign has been successful. You've said that the parental support is the key, and even the extended family, in terms of making sure that resilience prevails and we have a second chance through rehabilitation. Although some people may say, no, you do the time and you face the consequences. What's your message to the people of Fiji who are watching this tonight?
My message to the nation tonight, like I mentioned before, not everybody that commits crime is a bad person. They also want to genuinely contribute to the nation. They also genuinely want to change. It is important for us to give them second chances, opportunities. It will not only help them, it will also help their families, their society, and also the nation. Accept them as who they are. Stop the stigmatization. And support them and encourage them so that they can be a better person and not reoffend. Because rehabilitation only works if the whole society plays its role. Benak.
Thank you, Aisea. And that's Aisea Toribau's story, his journey, mistakes committed, and he, as he said, owned up to it, let the process take its course, and took responsibility for his actions, and now about to start off his master's program. Congratulations on your journey so far, Aisea. And I'm sure that the people of Fiji will be wishing you all the best going forward in your master's program. We wish you all the success, and we also again thank you for being courageous enough to come forward and share your story on this special program to inspire others as well. That's our show for tonight. Until the next fortnight, have a great evening.